Hi, ladies. So, I am looking kind of crazy, but that's okay. I was reading about folks that are having a hard time with their physical appearance or even their mental, abilities at this point. I know that coronavirus has caused a lot of us to fall into slumps or just feel terrible about ourselves. So I just wanted to share my story. And I'll probably share this also on YouTube, but I wanted to share this exclusively on here first. I have a cat. I have struggled my whole life with feeling like I was not enough, having depression and anxiety, being ADHD. I went through a marriage that I pretty much tortured my ex-husband through. But I was at the worst of my depression in 2017. And I don't know if it was May or if it was March. I can't remember. But I was in the hospital. I've been in and out of the hospital most all of my 20s. I had bad surgeries. I broke my neck. So I'll just go over a couple of those things just so you guys can get an idea of, how much I was actually sick. So before I was 23, I think, I had a C-section, I had gastric bypass, I had my gallbladder removed, I've had a hysterectomy from endometriosis, which I had numerous surgeries for because they were just trying to remove the tissue a bunch of times, and I had endometriomas growing on the inside of that scar tissue from my C-section. And let's see, what else? When I had my gastric bypass, I was in the hospital for a substantially longer amount of time than anybody else because I got MRSA and I had 104 temperature. And later on, where they reconnected my stomach to my new intestines, I had an ulcer that ate through my stomach, and I woke up in the middle of the morning, maybe like 2 a.m. or something like that, thinking that I was having a heart attack, when in fact my stomach had fallen apart and all my stomach acid was all inside of my in my abdomen. So I had to have emergency surgery for that, where they cut me from underneath of my ribs all the way down to past my belly button. Trying to think what else. I do have memory problems, so I should probably go ahead and talk about that too. When I broke my neck in 2013, I was in an ATV accident where I basically, how like they say don't dive in shallow water because you're gonna break your neck? Well, that's exactly what happened. I was on an ATV and I smacked the water, dove in head first, I guess, and broke my neck on impact. My ATV then flipped over, pinned me under the water, and my passenger that was with me pulled me out. But my neck was in fact broken. So I have, let's see if we can get this on camera. I have this nice little scar from having plate and screws put in. And then, that was in 2013. A year later, in 2014, I was T-boned by a 16-year-old and his dad that were just getting done robbing a house, and they had a gunfight, and there were 4 cop cars chasing this guy who was driving an SUV. I was at a stoplight, or not a stoplight, a stop sign, and when they tried to take the turn, my car stopped them. So I broke my back in that. I fractured my lower back. And you can imagine through all of this, I did become addicted to opioids. I mean, I don't think anybody during that time frame in, the early 2010s, when doctors were handing out medicine like candy, I don't know anybody that probably wouldn't have been addicted to them. And so I continue to have ulcer problems and a lot of pain, to the point that I was doing coke to just try to escape. And So 2017 rolls around and I'm in the hospital again for an ulcer, and I had been sent home all these times. And so finally it was I'm not leaving until somebody figures out what's wrong with me, because I'm in so much pain, I'm going to die or kill myself. So 2017, it was either March or May, I can't remember. I have a picture of me in the hospital during that time, but it's a lot of scrolling to find it. So when I was in the hospital that time, I decided if I'm not going to have that much life left because of all of the surgeries and things that I've done to myself, or have had happen, that I need to make it the best that I possibly can. I wasn't sure where to start, and I didn't know really what to do. And so what I did was, I knew that people say if you talk nice to yourself, eventually you will be nice to yourself. So my very first step was, every single time I said, I just want to die, or I'm fucking stupid, or I don't deserve whatever. Like, I can't even begin to tell you all the mean shit I said to myself. And I would never say that to somebody else. So it was really weird. They do say, you know, you're a lot harder on yourself than you are other people. And I think that's totally true. And I didn't see it then, but I do see it now. So I started, every time I said something mean, I would stop immediately when I caught myself. And it was probably a few sentences in at first. Like, I didn't immediately stop. But I would stop and say, I love you. And that was it. And that was my first step. And it sounded stupid. I felt stupid. I would look in the mirror and say, I love you. You're going to get through this. And I just felt like the dumbest person on the planet of ever, right? Like, I'm a street kid. I grew up as a homeless kid. I grew up with parents that were addicted to crack and meth and shit like that. So I felt really dumb. But so, and heroin, they're really big heroin addicts. But so I started with that, and then I started reading self-help books. Gary Bishop is a really good one. I think it's Go On Fuck Yourself is a good one. And I can always post a list of books if you guys want, because I listen to all kinds of stuff now. But those are the ones that really got me out of my funk, because I'm like, I don't want to listen to a fucking self-help book that's like, here's how therapy is going to help you. And for me, I'm like, I'm not going to listen to it. I'm just not. So I found a book where it was kind of just like, sit the fuck down and listen to this. Like, here's a point of view that I would be able to understand. And so I started listening to self-help books. I used to drive my son from Greeley to Denver every day for school. So every day I was listening to something that was just trying to teach me, or was just trying to learn how to not fucking hate myself. And I was super self-conscious about all these scars that I have, and I've never felt like my body was right, even though I've always been kind of athletic. And that's another thing that I felt later on that has helped me, is going to the gym, having goals for myself, hitting those goals for myself. I mean, I can't even tell you how much that has helped for just my self-esteem, knowing that I can hit these goals, and knowing that even though I broke my neck and then my back a year later, that I'm still going to the gym. And it started out slow. I didn't immediately jump out and go do any of this stuff. It was very slow. So I went to the gym like once a month, really. And then now a few years later, you know, I go at least 3-4 times a week, because it just is, it's my time. Like, for me, and I think that would be important for everybody, is to find something that you can grasp onto as your time, like your personal time. Like, I have kids, I'm a single mom, I work, I have pets, but I needed something that I could go do, get out of the house, go do something for myself. And for me, that was the gym. And I also do little, you know, self-care things, like I'll soak my feet every now and then. And then when I do it, I let my kids soak their feet as a form of their own self-help. Or self, care. Just trying to do something that you would do for somebody that you love, Like if you don't have anybody, you can be that somebody. And so that's really been, it's 2020 now, and I haven't said that I hated myself in probably almost 2 years now. And I don't, and it makes me sad that I ever did. And sorry, choking up on that one. So seeing you guys go through this stuff where, you're really feeling like you're sad and you hate yourself, or you're not feeling good about yourself, by all means, I think therapy is a great form of taking care of that. If you have, everybody has different issues, so I'm not going to say that my way is the best way, because that's not true. But therapy also helped me for a while too. I'm really bad at sticking to stuff like that, and I think that's because of ADHD and with the coronavirus stuff going on. Like, I tried to continue to do it on the phone, and I couldn't keep my attention on it. So but yeah, that's kind of a quick version of my story. I just wanted to share it because I know there's so many people out there, especially right now, that are stuck at home and are just feeling like fucking garbage. And I just want to be an outlet. Like, I don't have family. I don't have anything like that to use as an outlet for myself, or to get somebody that says, you're not dumb, or you're not terrible, or you are pretty. Like, I've never had any of that stuff ever. So if I can be that outlet for you to plug yourself into to get the power that you need, by all means, light it up, because I'm here. And I don't know if that's a good thing, but again, I'm not going to be here probably for a long while, but while I'm here, I might as well make myself worthwhile. So anyway, that's it. I just thought I would share it. I know it's weird. I know I'm weird. I know I feel like I'm probably not saying everything that I wanted to say, but I just thought I would share, and I hope all of you have a really good day, and I hope we all have a really good Halloween, and I'm here if you ever need to message me.